This is something that is present every day in your house, on the news, in the workplace or classroom, essentially everywhere in society. It is the very idea that is behind why you probably deep down resent certain people. And we all do it. It's part of the world we live in today, but it's been said to drive our country apart. It's called polarization, and the US has it, a lot of it. So, what is polarization? Well, it's not just a disagreement between two different groups. It surpasses well beyond that to a complete inability to reason with the other side. Whether it's people from different religions, races, cultures, personal beliefs, there is no denying this country is polarized in these many fields. But the most prevalent battlegrounds? Politics. The majority of partisan Americans see the other side's beliefs as negative, with over 42% viewing the opposition as downright evil. If anyone views their fellow American and political opponent as downright evil, that in itself is a prime example of the division of our nation. Ellie Pariser, author of Filter Bubble and social activist, explains democracy requires citizens to see things from one another's view, but instead we're more and more enclosed in our own bubbles. Pariser's quotation reveals that in our modern day society, extreme views are being heightened by the inability to see eye to eye with those possessing different beliefs, and thus intensifying the us versus them, harming the solidarity of this country, building metaphoric walls, and increasing the developed hatred amongst the American people. So, we've become increasingly more polarized, but why? Well, for one, it's the idea of the extremes. These are the far left or far right people, the highly opinionated, who are amplifying the divide. In fact, 60% of Americans believe that both parties have become too extreme. 76% of voters believe our country is becoming more divided, and 87% of Americans believe that political polarization is threatening our way of life. Ezra Klein, author of Why We're Polarized and founder of Vox, outlines what has happened to American politics in recent decades is that the parties have become visibly, undeniably more different, and the country has rationally become more partisan in response. Klein's contention emphasizes the notion that extreme views are only creating a more split nation, and our world now becomes a place where no one wants to have empathy or put themselves in others' shoes. The larger contributor driving this forward in recent times is, you guessed it, social media. In the past, not everyone had easy access to share their thoughts with the world, but now, social media makes that disturbingly easy. With this medium, raw thoughts, reactions, beliefs can all be expressed and intensify every individual's prejudices. Take Facebook, when we saw them push out extreme posts to users from both sides to sway people during the 2016 election. With all this in mind, we can become more aware of what's to come, especially as we're entering a critical political time with the 2020 election coming up. If we move forward with a mindset that respects everyone's views, we can become more conscious of our country's future unification and success. Polarization has dominated the US in modern times, as we've seen during the coronavirus outbreak when we need unification most. People are more than ever clinging to their side's beliefs. So the question begs, are we destined for this to only get worse, or is the US capable of turning it around? Thank you.